Hi there. We're going to be sharpening a sickle bar blade assembly here for a walk-behind tractor. You put on my gloves here first, so I'll cut myself. Of course, it's pretty dull right now, so there's not much chance of cutting myself. This is a blade assembly off a double-action sickle bar, BCS, but this procedure works on any of the sickle bars, double or single action. Some people think that sickle bar sections don't need to be sharpened because they're serrated. But the fact is they do get dull, and cutting efficiency can be improved if you sharpen them, and you'll lengthen the life of the thing greatly by sharpening it. The serrations on most of these teeth are on the bottom, so as you sharpen the blade on the top, you're bringing the knife surface, the sharpened surface, back into the serration, so you're kind of reserrating the teeth as you sharpen it. Now there's some types of sickle bar blades on the market that have serrations on top. Those are the ones that are not designed to be sharpened because the smooth surface on the bottom is what wears. But if they're serrated on the bottom of the tooth, they can be sharpened on the beveled edges. So what we're going to use here is a disc grinder. This is also known as a disc sander or an angle grinder. This particular one has a sanding disc on it, but the sanding disc and a grinding wheel work pretty much the same. And I'm going to insert the wheel between the teeth like this. Feel free to come in for a close-up. So I'm gonna be moving the grinder like this and like this to catch the two angles. You just basically try to match the factory angles. It's not rocket science. You just keep pretty close to the factory angles. I've already sharpened a few teeth on the end here, so you can probably see those are a little shinier. The important thing when you're doing this is the main thing is not to overheat the teeth. Because if you push too hard, or if you stay in one place too long, you'll notice the tooth starts to get blue a little bit. The metal will actually start to get blue because it's being overheated. And you don't want to do that. If that happens a little bit, you can usually just move the thing a little quicker, lighten up a little bit, and you can actually grind the blue material away back to better material under it. Because if you leave it blue, it's kind of super hard and it can crack off. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. Always wear eye protection when you're using a grinder. So as you can see, I actually went back to some of the teeth I ground earlier because I wanted to let them cool down. Some of them had a little more damage on them. You could tell they had a few notches in the side. So I wanted to hit those again. And you basically just want to put a nice cutting edge on them that feels nice and sharp. I did not sharpen this one because that's a brand new tooth. We just riveted on there, but all these have a nice sharp edge on them now. And also you'll notice that right here, every so often on the double action sickle bars, you've got this little pivot point where the spring-loaded tensioner locks in there. I touched that a little bit with the grinding wheel. Here you can back off there, and I'll go ahead and swing the grinder around here. When I noticed that I was hitting it, I slid the grinder down a little bit so I wouldn't hit it on the other side. So you can just pull that wheel down out of there some so you don't catch those things. A little bit of a hit there is not going to hurt anything as long as you don't take off a significant amount of material. But the point is you just work down the full length of the bar, do it using this procedure, and go back to work. On the single action cutter bars, most of the teeth are much narrower. These are a 2-inch wide section on these instead of a 3-inch. But these can still be successfully sharpened by a grinder like this. You just have to pay a little more attention. Sometimes you can't get all the way to the back, but if you angle it up a little bit, you can get pretty far to the back. Just make sure that when you're sliding in, Try not to hit the tooth on the opposite side with the top side of the grinding wheel. Otherwise, you're gonna put a dull mark right in the crotch there if you contact that. But you can still get pretty far back in here, even on these narrow teeth. This one's already been sharpened, so I'm not going to go over it again. All right. Well, that concludes our session. Thanks for watching.